Hey everybody, it's Eric, your friendly sports nut here, and this is Sports Nut News. So on today's show, I'd like to talk to you guys about a few different sports, the MLS, the Premier League, and the NBA. So let's start with the MLS. So the MLS is back. It is starting back next week. A few weeks back, they announced their World Cup style tournament that's going to be held at the Disney's Wide World of Sports down in Orlando. Obviously, no fans are allowed. They'll be in their bubble, per se, like basically to try and protect their fans, or their players, I should say, and their staff from the COVID-19 pandemic that's going on right now. It's insane. Especially in Florida. Florida is a pretty bad situation right now for large numbers of cases. So hopefully everybody that goes down there, plays there, and so on will be able to stay safe and stay healthy. So this tournament kicks off officially July 8th with the host Orlando City versus Inter Miami, the new team to the MLS. So a new state rival for them. It's going to be exciting. All the draw of Florida versus Florida, like that kind of thing. And then the same day, another new team to the MLS, Nashville, will be facing off against Chicago. Now, the following day is a couple Canadian matchups. So you have Montreal Impact versus New England Revolution, and Dallas versus the Vancouver Whitecaps. So that's going to be a big day for Canadian soccer fans to check it out, see how the Impact are doing, see how the Vancouver Whitecaps are doing. And then we get to the following day. That's when Toronto FC begins their fight for this hopeful championship, because they lost in the MLS Cup final last year in Seattle to the Sounders, so hopefully they can pull off a big victory and get this championship this year. They will be starting July 10th versus DC United. That's going to be a big game. If Toronto can get off to a quick win, that'll help their chances, obviously. So breaking down a few of the other games, July 15th is the big one. You have Montreal Impact versus Toronto FC. That's going to be a nail biter. It always is. It's always exciting, always stressful to watch as a TFC fan. And later that day is also the Vancouver Whitecaps versus San Jose Earthquakes. So another couple big matchups that are interesting and intriguing for a lot of fans is July 18th. You have the first El Tráfico of this tournament, which will be LAFC versus LA Galaxy. And then the 20th, we have the Vancouver Whitecaps facing off against their Cascadia rivals in Seattle Sounders, the defending MLS Cup champs. And then on the 21st, the Canadian teams, per se, close out their tournament, or their round-robin tournament, with Toronto FC versus New England Revolution, and Montreal Impact versus DC United. So I'm excited. The next couple weeks, we're going to have some really exciting soccer games to watch. Hopefully, heaven forbid, anything happens down in Orlando with more positive tests and they have to cancel games or whatever. But knock on wood, everything will work out and the MLS will be back next week. I'm pumped. It's going to be great. Now, moving on to the Premier League. So the Premier League obviously just restarted a couple weeks ago. Liverpool was almost guaranteed to win the Premier League. They were so far ahead of everybody else in the Premier League. It started off a little rough. They had a draw, and then Man City won, and everyone was like, okay, well, if Man City keeps winning and Liverpool doesn't win, it's just going to prolong when they're actually going to win this title. They pulled it off. Man City lost. They won. It all fell into place. So Liverpool has won their first ever Premier League title. Now, it's not their first top tier title. It's their first title since the Premier League came into effect in 1992. But, it's been 30 years, I think, since they've won an actual, English top tier title. Now, Liverpool is kind of interesting right now because they are technically the champions of England with the Premier League, the champions of Europe because they're the defending Champions League title winners, and they also won the Club World Cup, so they're the world champions if you want to think of it that way. So they are the champions of England, Europe, and the world. It's pretty intense. I'm happy for their fans. They've obviously suffered through a lot of heartache and a lot of frustration over the years. I haven't really been following the Premier League for a long time, only about 5 or 6 years now, but I mean, yeah, it's good for them. I'm hoping my Southampton team can actually pull off something big at some point in the near future, win a Premier League or a Europa League or a Champions League or something like that. But I mean, they're gonna have to do a lot of work to get past some of these giants of England, like Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, some of those teams. So going back to my Southampton FC, they're in 13th place, so they're kind of near the bottom of the table, but also kind of safe right now. They're about 13 points ahead of the relegation zone. They have 40 points. They've played 32 games. They have a record of 12 wins, 4 losses, or 4 draws and 16 losses. Like, it's been an up and down year. They actually have one of the best road records out of the Premier League, but they've just been horrible at home, and I don't get it. But I mean, they've come back. They've gotten a couple big wins, 2 out of 3 since the restart. So hopefully they can keep getting some momentum and move up that table and really get going. Now, on the NBA. The NBA has their restart. They are doing the same thing as the MLS. They're going to Disney's Wide World of Sports in Orlando. Their schedule starts in August. Now, August 1st, the Raptors kick off their tournament. So this will be interesting. They have basically 8 games to seed the teams based on regular season and so on. And then they'll start an actual playoffs from there. So the Raptors schedule is an interesting one. It starts off August 1st against the Lakers. So first night, they're playing LeBron. It's going to be tough. August 3rd, they're playing Miami. That's still going to be a really tough team. They're usually really, really good games against Miami Heat. The Orlando Magic, they have them on August 5th. August 7th, they play the Boston Celtics. August 9th, Memphis Grizzlies. August 10th, on a back-to-back, they have to play the Bucks. I mean, we beat the Bucks in the playoffs last year, but the Bucks this year are a whole different animal. But then again, like I said in other videos and other leagues, teams have been off for so long. Who knows what the rust is going to be like, what the health is going to be like of certain teams, players getting players healthy again that wouldn't have been healthy for a regular playoff run. August 12th, they play the Philadelphia 76ers. That's going to be fun because obviously everybody remembers the shot by Kawhi last year in the playoffs, so the Philly's going to have something to prove, especially if they do end up meeting in the playoffs per se. But I mean, in this 8-game session, there's going to be some really good games. And then the Raptors finish off August 14th against the Denver Nuggets, and then they'll start off with the playoffs from there. Right now, the Raptors are seated in second in the East heading into this tournament. This will be an interesting setup if they can sweep these games and Milwaukee goes on a huge losing streak. I think they can still technically catch Milwaukee for first in the East, but chances are they're probably going to be second. Unless they lose too many games, they may drop third, fourth, or whatever. So I'm hoping that the Raptors can come in, do a really strong 8-game stretch, get some wins, and then maybe hopefully go on another deep run in this playoff series down in Orlando, and then maybe even win another championship, go back to back. Yes, it won't be the traditional back to back, but I mean, they're still the defending champs. Like, they have the championship right now. Like, they have the bragging rights, so everyone's going to want to dethrone them this year, so it's going to be tough, but I think the Raptors can do it, especially now that they're getting guys healthy because of this long layover between when the season stopped and when this is going to restart. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you guys a quick recap on some of the other sports other than the NHL. Obviously, I just posted an NHL video, so I'm going to post this one too. But if you like this video, please click like. If you really like it, please subscribe. And please share with all your friends. Let me know in the comment box below if you think there's anything that you're excited for in the MLS, the Premier League, the NBA, like any of these other leagues. And if you have an idea for my next video, just feel free to drop a comment and maybe I'll take you up on it. Okay, guys? Anyways, have a great one and see you again soon.